Welcome to Bitty Bum Boutique TV. Today I'm going to show you how to make a very cute ribbon flower hair clip. These are two examples of ones I've already made, and today we're going to be making a red, white, and blue flower. So I'm going to start by telling you the supplies that you're going to need. You're going to need some ribbon, and we're using 3/8 inch ribbon, and you can do 3 different colors or the same color. It's totally up to you, but it's 3/8 inch wide. You're going to need some thread, and this is the thread I use for anytime I'm making flowers or anything that needs thread. It's just DMC floss, and I have it in white and black. You're going to need a needle, which you want a pretty long needle. So the longest, thinnest needle you can find is going to work good for you. You're going to need a clip of your choice. Today we're going to use an alligator clip, and I'm going to line it with some ribbon. So if you're going to line your alligator clip, you need 4.5 inches long of 3/8 inch wide ribbon to line your alligator clip. You're going to need another coordinating piece of ribbon to attach the flower to the clip. You're going to need some kind of heat sealer, whether it's a heat sealing gun or a lighter or an aim and flame. We're going to use a lighter today. And then you're going to need some scissors and then something to put in the middle, and I've chosen a rhinestone. So we're going to start with our, and a glue gun, obviously. And here's my glue gun. It's the Sure Bonder. It has a really thin tip. I love this glue gun. You can get it at your craft store or online. You can find it also. So we're going to start with, I'm going to tell you how long you need to cut your ribbon. Now these two are the same size, and they measure about 2.5 inches wide, about a 2.5 inch diameter flower. The red, white, and blue, we're going to make it a little smaller just so you can see the difference. So if you want it this size, you're going to cut your different strips, starting with your longest, 3 inches, 2.5 inches, and then 2 inches. So you vary 1/2 inch depending on the order you're going to put your colors. So for the red, white, and blue, I cut 2.5 inches, 2 inches, 1.5 inches. And I've already started just so it's not a lot of repetition and so you can see what we're doing. So you're going to start with layering each piece like so, shortest to longest, and then you're going to keep them gathered, together at the end. Then you're going to slip that onto your needle. Now you don't want to put it too close to the edge, because then it's not going to catch good. So you want it just a little farther back, and then you just want to make sure you get in the middle. And then you're going to put that side on, and then just attach one at a time. You're going to bring the other side of each color over. And that's what makes the different lengths there. And then you're just going to push that together and push them down a little farther. You're not pushing them off the needle yet. You're keeping them all on the needle until you're done. So we're going to do the last one. Again, you just gather this ribbon, knead it all together so it's even on one end, place it on the needle, and then bring them over one at a time. And just make sure you scoot back a little bit, and then you're getting it in the middle. And you try to do about the same on each one, but it's not a huge deal. And then once you have them all gathered, still on the needle, this is where you're going to seal the ends. Now, I wouldn't normally do it like this all at once, but heat sealing the ends is one thing that is very time consuming when you're dealing with flower bows or the loopy bows, anything that has a lot of pieces of ribbon, and I just don't like sealing all that. So I'm just going to, I gathered these all, and I'm just going to take my lighter and run the flame over it a couple times, and it gets most of them, if not all of them, and then let it cool for a minute. And it really doesn't matter so much like that they're sealed, because they're all, you're not going to see them anyway, so they're not going to fray anyways, but just to be safe we do that. So now we're going to push them all off of the needle and onto our thread. And I've already knotted my thread, so they should stop right there. And now you have all 8 of your loops. Okay, now you don't want to keep this really tight and then tie this off, because then they're not going to go around. So you're going to place it on the table and just kind of separate just a little. You don't want them really loose either, but you want them to go around and meet together. And what you're going to end up doing is gluing these two together. So once you have it where you think that they'll be fine, then you can tie off this last piece. And so really I didn't even hardly, it just kind of loosened on its own, and that's about where you need it. So now I'm going to cut my thread, and just to show you this needle without anything on it. So this is a 3-inch long needle. So this is a good one to work with when you're doing these kind of bows or the loopy ones. Okay, so now we're going to tie off this. Now we're not going to pull it really tight. We just want it to go right there, because if you pull it tight, then they're all going to gather back together and they're not going to make your circle. So I just made 3 loops, 3 knots. Now we're going to trim off the excess thread on each side, like so. And now we're going to glue these 2 ends together. So you kind of have like a half a circle. Now we're going to glue these together. So I'm just going to take my glue gun and put some glue right on this side. And then just press these together like that. And you're going to let it sit for just a second so it catches. Hot glue dries very fast, but you do need to hold it just for a second. Okay, so now that we have those glued together, now you can see that we have a circle. And now you can either crease these like that and make the petals like pointy, or you can make them more rounded. Either way, whatever your preference. So there is our flower. So now we have to attach it to and you might want to just adjust them on that thread there. There we go. Now we have to attach it to the clip and then attach our rhinestone also. So the only trick I have with the clip is that normally this would be the side that is slanted up is the side that I would put on the bow. But when I have something like this flower that's flat, I would rather it not like poke up over here where that piece is. So I'm gonna line this clip backwards from what I normally do, so that the flat part of the alligator clip is flat against the flower, and then your piece that sticks out will just, you know, lay on your head. So we're gonna line our clip. I always start out by putting the glue on my clip first, and then just lining that up and then closing it. And you just want to make sure you press down and get it all in there good. And then after I do that first step, and then I usually put my glue on my ribbon, and you just want to make sure that you're squeezing it with the ribbon that you just glued down, so that it's attaching not only to the clip but to the ribbon on the other side of it also. And then just step by step, I put some glue. I do it like that because if you were to just glue the entire thing, because hot glue does dry really quick, I feel like by the time you get to the end it might not stick as well. So I just do little sections at a time. Okay, once you have that glued, now we're going to take our other extra piece that we have, and we're just going to glue it to the center. Either side, it doesn't matter since they're both the same. And this is the piece of ribbon that is going to wrap around our alligator clip. So once you have that, you just hold it, let it sit. Oops. And then we're going to attach our clip, just like that. So add some more glue to the middle. And then place our alligator clip right there. And I would let it sit for a few seconds, just so you know you have it nice and secure. And then we're just going to wrap these other pieces around and then trim them off. So we're going to put some glue there, wrap that one, trim that, and wrap the other side. Like so. And just trim that off. And there you go. So now you can see what I was saying, how this piece, if it was on this side, like our flower would like bunch up over here, and I just think that's annoying. So I like it to be nice and flat. Okay, and then now all that's left is attaching our rhinestone. So I've chosen a red one to go with this bow, and I'm going to use my E6000 glue to attach the rhinestone. If I can get it open. There we go. Just going to put some glue on the back, and it dries clear, so don't worry if you get a little too much. But you don't want to do too much because it'll go everywhere. Okay, and then we're just going to place this right in the middle. And you really want to let anything you attach with E6000, you want to let it dry really good overnight, just so you know that it's nice and secure. And you could use gem tack or any other adhesive for fabric and rhinestones, but the E6000 really does hold good. So there you go. Very simple, very cute, lots of color combination possibilities, and there's no looping right and making sure that's all even. So just so you can see the difference in size, so this one, remember our longest was 2.5, and this measures about 2 inches. So whatever your longest piece of ribbon you cut, if you subtract 1/2 inch from that, is about how wide your flower will be. So here's the difference. This one we started out with 3 inches, and this one we started out with 2.5. So hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.